Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. And today we have two Crones. My name is Gayle Nicholson. I am a metaphysical practitioner and spiritual guidance coach, whatever you want to call me. I Spirit tells me, I tell you. Okay. And I work with creative command coaching and consulting. And to my side today, I have Miss Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. How are you doing, Damaris?
I'm doing pretty good. Just battling with the heat wave that we're having.
Yeah, it's like worldwide, isn't it?
Yes.
It is. So I want to acknowledge for everybody out there, the two Crones today. Today, Miss Krista, our crystal crone, has double booked herself, if you will. She's out on a boat and has no Wi-Fi or signal to be able to join us today. So she literally kind of phoned it in. She sent us her segment, and we're going to try and cover it. And, you know, we're just going to have fun anyway. Hello, Miss Tanya. Tanya Pesci is here with us already. Thank you to Tanya and Ada. Ada, I saw you guys shared the post earlier. Thank you so very, very much. I don't know that Mama Crone is going to be with us. I don't know if she's elsewhere. She's not with Krista.
Yeah.
And we saw a picture of Krista earlier outside of the Anne Frank house. That was funny.
Yeah.
She posted a picture or sent us a picture showing, you know, her and the fam in front of the Anne Frank house. And she said, here we are with Anne Frank. And yeah. I swear to God, I was searching the picture for a really, really old lady. And then I realized, Anne Frank, that's the little girl statue in the back. Yeah. Duh. So we all have our moments, right? Right.
Yes.
Well, so how has this week been for you? Are you melting? Look at my hair. I took a shower today and I didn't wash my hair. I had it up in one of those scrunchy buns on the top of my head. And I took the ponytail holder out and I'm like, oh my God, this looks so cool. It just like naturally curled. Yes. And then I got into the shower and kind of left it there. And then I got back out of the shower expecting it to be beautiful and brushed out. And it's just like, oh my God, it's like, I don't want to say it's like straw because it's not like soft like straw. It's just, it's got no curl left and it's frizzy, but it's humid. I'm sorry, I completely interrupted you. How's the weather there? How has this last week been for you?
Well, it's been okay. I mean, weather-wise, I've just been staying home too because I get sort of like a headache when I go out into the heat and I'm in the air conditioning and then I go out. It's like the difference in what the weather temperature for me, it gives me a headache. So I've just been staying indoors, really.
Gotcha. Yeah. Kind of like a brain freeze, if you will.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, hello, with it. Thanks for joining us today. So good to see you too.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we got some pretty cool stuff on tap and going on today with all of the stuff that's going on above, if you will.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Pluto has been kicking my ass. I don't like it. Fuck you, Pluto. You're not really a planet anyway.
Listen, it's better when you make friends with Pluto. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. It will be a better ride for you.
I don't think I have that much trauma response fawning to become friends with Pluto right now.
I'm telling you, it's better if you do. Because Pluto could be a saint and the Satan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has two faces, you know? It's like the evil twin, so to speak, in a sense. It has a good side and then it has a bad side. It's the destroyer,
Hades
the
when he's
rebuilder.
getting some and when he ain't.
What?
It's Hades when he's getting some and when he ain't.
So what Pluto wants is for us to destroy aspects of ourselves that no longer serve us and no longer serve the where we're going in life, because it's all about transmutation, which I'll still talk about that a little later, but it's about transmutation. It's about regeneration. It's about rebirth. So it's, it wants us to let go of things that are holding us back, whatever those things may be. For everybody is different things, right? It could be a limiting belief, it could be drugs, alcohol, it could be a relationship, it could be so many different things, but these things are holding us back on a soul level. So Pluto wants us to get rid of it. And so we don't get rid of it, we hold on to it, and then Pluto comes along and is like, oh no, we're getting rid of this. And then it does it in a way that's harsh.
And here I am, like they say, rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. But if I just hold it against the light this way, it's pretty, right?
Yeah, it's you have to sort of like allow Pluto to help you get rid of these things, right? Because it's for your own soul's, evolution, if you will. So it's
but it would really be nice though if Pluto, like sent some dreams. In upcoming episodes, you can expect this. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to let go of that familiar, even when it's, tar and muck up to your nose. It's really, but it's warm tar and muck. Oh, it's cozy. I don't want to go nowhere.
Yeah, but we don't grow that way,
It's true.
And so we have to, especially with the Pluto return. So the Pluto return is happening, specifically to the United States, but it's also happening to each and every one of us on a global level. We're getting rid of what no longer is serving us on a soul level. Whether, again, it be something spiritual, a belief system, it could be something emotional, it could be, a trauma that we have been holding on to, and then we're blaming everybody. It's time to say, okay, just get the gift out of this trauma, and that gift, you're going to utilize it. I always say it's almost like we're stuck in this dungeon and, with mold. And then Pluto wants us to make art out of the mold. Instead of crying about the mold, it wants us to take the mold and create an art out of it. And so that's what
I'm telling you, even with that example, Pluto is trying to kill me. I'm allergic to mold.
It's destroying aspects of yourself. It is.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
And sometimes fear too, I always think of the Native American culture, and they have the bat. And the bat is almost like Pluto energy. And it's like, facing your fears head on. And once you face those fears, you transform yourself. You become different. And so Pluto wants you to face your fears as well, Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been something. Well, I want to say hello to everybody who's watching right now, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Essentially, the things, give us a like, give us a heart, give us a comment, share it out to people that you think might like to laugh at us too. We would love to be shared. Oh my gosh, some of the people that have been sharing our episodes, prior to the show and after the show, very, very grateful to you. Thank you so much. It's wonderful. So yeah, I think I might be heading into a new area that I'm wondering how welcoming they're going to be with regard to the witchery. So this next couple of weeks is going to be an adventure, and I know with the sun going into Leo, everything is just going to right.
Yes,
So
I feel like it's how you word it to people too.
yeah,
There's so many different terminologies to what we do, and you could just fit it to where they are accepting of it. Use that terminology for them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Do you remember Dr. Ruth?
Dr. Ruth, not give me more. Remind me more. I don't remember.
She was this little teeny tiny old Jewish lady with I think it was some sort of German type accent. I'm not quite
Okay.
sure exactly where she was from. But she would just straight out, give sex advice and talk about how people
I think
could,
I remember.
do you remember?
Yes.
And it was so shocking because you didn't expect sweet little old lady to be, using words like penis and vagina and it all kinds of erotic terms, right? And she was really big at one point in time. And I always she came up as you were talking about sometimes it's about how you put it, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's about the languaging that you
Yes.
use. And I'm like, oh yeah, if she had marketed herself as a sex crone, no way. No way. But she was this little old lady that knew everything about sex and how to make it the best it possibly could be.
Wonderful. She was a sex therapist.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Yes, she
Yeah.
was.
So yes, I find that everything is in language, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's how we, present it. You know what I mean? Where people accept it or not. I have found, like with astrology, for example, a lot of people don't understand astrology or don't believe in astrology. And to me, astrology is the foundation of everything that I do. And
Okay.
so I have to word it for them in a way where they could understand it from my perspective. They don't have to believe it, but that they could understand why, it's so important to me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if it's hard for me to even fathom that people don't believe in astrology.
There is so many that don't. They look at the astrology as a horoscope and
Yeah.
not, the astrology for me is really a cosmic time line and a
Right.
cosmic clock for each individual. So
Yeah.
it's like timing everything on this earth. Timing everything, let's say your timelines, what
Mhm.
happened in the past, what's happening now, what's potentially going to happen in the future. So
Right.
that's what it is. It's a cosmic timeline for each
Yeah.
individual.
And it's again, my brain goes wild when people say stuff and it triggers off. But the horoscope gives astrology a bad rap.
I know.
It's
I
kind
do
of
know.
like the fundamentalist religious Republicans. They give that party
Yes,
a bad rap.
they do.
Because it didn't start out that way. But that rant aside, with the horoscope, it gives you your sun sign. And the sun
Yes,
sign, as you know, is just like this little microcosm of how you show up in the world without
exactly.
input from your rising sign, without input from your
The
moon.
moon.
You
Yes,
really don't have a whole picture
you don't.
of who you are. So
You have
it
a
makes
fragment.
absolute sense to me why people will pick up the newspaper and read 3 sentences under their horoscope for their sign and go, that has nothing to do with my life.
It's exactly. And it also, I always put this into, every time I speak about astrology, I always have to speak about this perspective, which is your state of mind, your state of consciousness. It's where are you in a state of consciousness and how are you perceiving your life? Do you understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, the more you understand astrology, the more you raise your state of consciousness, and then more you make sense of your own particular life so that
Right.
you can do better, make better choices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why astrology is there. When really quick, when I started studying astrology, I started studying with my chart. And when I started seeing my timelines of specifically when my mother was going to pass away, that's when I really was like, this thing is a mathematical equation that has no margin of error. It is a time, it is a clock of your life. And so that's when I really started paying attention. And, when I looked at my potential based off of her death, what could be my potential if I understood the lesson within it? It was just It changed everything. You know,
Wow.
it changed how I viewed her death. It changed how I then didn't become a victim after that. You understand what I mean? Like that was something that I needed, that experience, in order to get me on the path that I was going to be on. Without that experience, I would be on a different path. And so it changed everything. I was no longer looking at it like I'm a victim. You understand?
Right.
It was just, this was something I needed for my experience in order to prepare me for what was coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? And there's a whole lot more power in it and more possibility of what you can actually do for your life, for the planet, for your community.
Yes.
When you step outside of this only happened to hurt my life, you know?
Yes. And the other part that came for me with that was that I understood how to do the chart manually. So then I can help people understand their challenges, their traumas, and say, okay, this is the potential. Yeah. And it's only a potential because some people, you know, fall off the path, so to speak. So this is your potential. This is why this happened, so that it can lead you to this. Right. And so, like I said, they could follow it or not, but I'm able to guide them and help them understand that that's the potential.
Right. Yeah. That's really awesome. I love what you do. One of these days I'm going to have you do my full chart, but I had one done a long time ago. And one of the things that revealed itself was that I was going to struggle until later in life, and then everything was going to be amazing. Right. And I'm like, am I old enough to ride the ride yet? Come on.
You are, because the soul is ageless, you know.
Well, no, I mean, it's said as far as timing in my life, right? It was after a certain point, then it would be awesome. But it didn't really necessarily, at least the person that did my chart didn't necessarily say exact timing, you know, like the fall of 2025.
I can tell you the exact timing because I see it with where the planets are lined up in your chart.
And he did use like one of those computer programs. So that's only going to pull what it's programmed to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to somebody who actually has discernment looking at the chart going, I've seen this before. I know what it means. This is what it means for you, considering this, this, and this.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Awesome. Well, let's get a little bit more deep on what exactly is happening above us this week in the heavens. That pesky Pluto.
All right. So we're going to talk about Leo because the sun is going to go into Leo on the 22nd. But today, as we speak, Mercury is going into Leo. And we also, on the 28th, we're going to have the new moon going into Leo.
She said, as we speak, Mercury is going into Leo. Wow, that's big talk right there.
Yes.
Right there.
So we have all this action in the sign of Leo, you know. Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is your life, your vitality, right? It's without the sun, there would be no life, right? So it's all about your creativity. It's all about, you know, courage. It's all about strength. And you were talking about the challenges that Pluto has been putting you through. And so when you take that sign, and you have the sign somewhere in your chart, you may not be a Leo, but it's in your chart somewhere.
Right.
But you can draw strength from wherever that is in your chart. And so finding courage, finding strength to overcome whatever adversity, facing the bull, grabbing the bull by the horn, so to speak, is what we need to do. I mean, seriously, you know, hypothetically speaking, if you're supposed to do a certain purpose, if you're supposed to have a certain purpose in your life and you don't go through the training process, how will you do that purpose? You won't be able to. You know what I'm saying? So you need to, you know, draw your strength and be able to overcome whatever it is in order to, you know, go, you know, over that mountain, so to speak. Right. So Leo is also the sign that is going to bring in a lot of heat, you know, through starting already and through the month of August, because Leo stays in, the sun stays in Leo until mid-August or towards the end of August. Yeah. And so a lot of heat is coming, you know, physically heat, you know, where we feel heat from the sun, and also heat within our lives. And it's all about also transmutation. The heat transmutes negativity, you know, excuse me. this is how it works, right? So if I'm feeling negative, I'm sending out negativity into the environment, whether
Right.
I realize it or not. So imagine all the people that are sending negativity into the environment, into the atmosphere. That is going to literally come back to us. It's almost like a rubber band that goes
Mm.
and it hits you in the face. You understand? So we're
Uh-huh.
sending it out without unconsciously, and it's going to come back to us.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing, all of us, collectively, is literally overheating the planet, if you will, by all this energy and all this negativity, all this, anger or hatred or whatever it is that people are holding. We're sending it out, and it's going to come back as our own creation, if you will.
Well, interest that is absolutely correct. And interestingly enough, we have this huge solar storm that is
Yeah.
hitting the planet today. So talk about snapping back. Yeah.
Yes. 100%. We talk about, the electromagnetic layer around the earth, and we
Mhm.
are the ones literally making it weaker. Every time we're putting out negative energy into the atmosphere, we're the
Mhm.
ones making that electromagnetic field around the earth weaker. And then once we make it weak enough, there is nothing to protect us. There is
Yeah.
nothing to protect the planet. You
Yeah.
understand? And so talk about climate change. People
Yeah.
don't realize it's really us. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They don't get it. And so during the month of Leo, there's a lot coming and there's a lot happening. We also have in August, we have the Lionsgate portal,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
is again another portal to allow us to transmute, to transcend, to become better people, better humans, because we're actually just creating our own negativity, our own karma by
Right.
putting whatever out there that we shouldn't, right? It's about working through it, understanding the gift, understanding why it happened, and then that will help us, with our life's purpose. And we
Mhm.
all have a purpose. So
Yeah.
it's about really understanding the energy of the planets and what they're trying to convey to us. I'll say this really quick before I move on to the number. I had this every time I go, I've been going out lately this week. There's always a dragonfly. Every time I stop at a light, there's a dragonfly that's roaming around my car, and I wasn't paying attention to it. This morning I went out, same thing. This is like the sixth time that this is happening. I'm like, I need to pay attention to what this message is. And it's literally about illusion, getting rid of the illusions, getting rid of my falsehoods, getting rid of my old belief systems that are blocking me, that are preventing me from being successful, that are, when I say to myself, yeah, I can't, there's this big project I want to do. And I say to myself sometimes, I can't do this. How am I going to pull this off? Uh,
Right.
why can't I pull it off? You
Right.
know what I mean? And it's all about that. The dragonfly is letting me know, stop with the nonsense already. Just do it. That's
Yeah.
my favorite slogan. Just do it.
Love
So,
it.
obviously I'm not doing this project by myself. I have to, start recruiting my team, but I'm leading it, so to speak, because it's my creation. And
Mhm.
so I can do it, and I am going to do it.
Yeah.
So the dragonfly is giving me that message of get rid of your falsehoods, your limiting beliefs, just because somebody said I couldn't do something, that's not my truth. And so
Right.
that's what it is. So not just the planets are talking to us, the elemental, the spirit is talking to us. And
Yeah.
so we need to listen and we need to pay attention. It took me six times for me to say, okay, dragonfly, what is it? What is it? What do you want? So I finally
Interesting.
understood the message.
Mhm.
So, everything speaks to us. There's signs everywhere. It's just that we have to pay attention.
I'd be interested to know if anybody can interpret this sign. The other day, I was coming into the driveway, and on the neighbor's house, right over the corner of the house that is her bedroom, a vulture flew up from the ground and lit on the top of the
Whoa.
house, and I'm like, um, I'm not sure I really know what that means, but that does not look good to me.
A vulture. Well,
A
you can
vulture.
interpret it in so many different ways. As soon as you said it, what's trying to devour you? That's what I got out of it right away when you said vulture. Like,
Yeah.
is something trying to devour you, or are you allowing something to devour you? I mean, you could be allowing Pluto to devour you,
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
sense,
Yeah.
And so, like I said, make friends with it, because it's only trying to push you outside your comfort zone into unlived realities,
Yeah.
things that you want to live into that you haven't yet. And
Right.
so, go with it, ride that wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Awesome. All
Your
right. So
number. Yeah.
number.
Number five is ruled by Mercury. It's funny we
Mm.
should say that, because Mercury just went into Leo today. But it's also ruled by Uranus. So now, what does it mean necessarily? I always think, when I see the number, I always also think of the chakra, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
throat chakra. So Mercury is all about your speech, your confident speech. It's about expressing yourself, expressing how you feel, not only how you feel, but also your creativity, your self-expression, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with Uranus, which is like almost like a co-ruler of the number five, it's all about, looking at the future. Uranus is all about the future. It's all about what abilities may you have in the future. It could be telepathy, prophecy, clairvoyance. It could be, any of those, abilities, psychic abilities. How are you
Mm-hmm.
going to express these gifts, right? That are laying dormant within you. And so I feel like, and I'm always going to bring this into the equation. I don't know if it's because I'm Catholic, but that's my root. I'm interfaith, but my root is Catholic. So I always
Mm-hmm.
go back to being Christ-like. And some people may not understand what this means. It just means that we have to always have the golden rule, so to speak.
Yeah.
Do unto
Yeah.
others as you want done unto yourself. If I want to be blessed, I have to bless you in order for me to be blessed. Because why should I get the blessing if I'm not giving blessings,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so once we become Christ-like, we'll be able to tap into these gifts that we all have, that we all were born with. And so they could be any of those gifts, or all of those gifts. Who
Yeah.
knows? Astral projection is another one that I can think about. So there's so many things we can tap into, but the lesson is becoming Christ-like. And that means, again, so that people really understand what it means, is the golden rule: doing unto others as you want done unto yourself. You don't want to hurt somebody, because then you're going to get hurt. And it's going to come from the least person that you think,
Yeah.
but it's going to come back, because, it boomerang,
Yeah.
that rubber band
Absolutely.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
hitting you in the face, right? And so that number five is all about change, right? Change
Yeah.
could be looked at as transmutation, transformation. It's all about traveling the world. Or you don't even have to step outside of your house to travel. You can do it all internally.
Yeah.
You can do it all in a meditative state. I could be in Italy right now if I meditate on it. You know what I mean? It's all about astral projection. I
Mm-hmm.
could project myself in Japan right now if I really go into my meditation and go deep into it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I don't physically have to go there to see it, to be
Yeah.
there.
Right.
So people have to understand that there's so many abilities that we have, and that we can literally live into those realities, but we have to transform the self first. And we
Yeah.
have to be in that space where then spirit, you know, can come to us as a dragonfly and speak to us. You
Right.
understand? And so that's what the number five is about.
Nice. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Um, yeah, there's definitely a lot on the table as far as traveling and all of the rest as well. Adam Duvall just joined us, and for those of you who didn't see, he took me down memory lane today, and that is I had this old book. He asked a question about people. Did they know that the cards of a regular playing deck correspond with,
Yes.
like the 52 weeks of the
Yes.
year and so on. And the video was cut short. So I'll fill in the blanks of the ending. And that is that each of the suits, talk about a season and so on,
Yeah.
So, I think we may have, that wasn't
Someone from
me.
YouTube. Who?
That's not me. So that must be Krista.
Oh.
Hi. How doing? We're limping along, hon. We're limping along. But this book, it was great because I had read about that before, and it had all of like the history of tarot and how the different playing cards and how they used to do it before the Rider-Waite deck, how they used to do fortunes like that. And then it also had a whole bunch of information about crystals, and I mean, it was a sampler of everything we do now, and it's packed.
And you know what it is too? These things were hidden from us, and gradually we went back. We remembered who we are, and we go right back to that. You know what I'm saying?
And it only takes 3 generations.
Yes. But the tools are all there, available for us.
Well, one of the things about that 3 generations thing, one of the things that really makes me very sad is I see all of these little videos on TikTok showing you how to forage for food and what, to eat, what not to eat, how to identify it. And all of that was stuff that was just part of your life until maybe 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Everybody grew their own garden.
Yes. Yes.
So
we have to go back to that.
Yeah, we really do.
Origin.
We need to start.
Have to go back to our origin.
Yeah. Teaching our children how to have a wonderful life without relying on manipulative systems to have that.
Those are collapsing. Pluto is going to make sure of that, by the way.
Yeah.
They're no longer sustainable.
This is very true, Adam. We're programmed to miss the importance of life, but I'm so glad I woke up and started looking into my own spiritual world. That is so very true.
I love that. I love that. Yep.
And
they say that, the only way out is going in, and that's spirituality. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, Adam, don't. Not here, not now. No. Yeah, Adam's got some righteous reasons to rant about his system.
Oh, I know.
Yes, do we all? But guess what? Everything is being broken down to be rebuilt.
Yes.
So hang in there.
So we have to thank Pluto, Gayle. Really, Pluto's doing this. It's breaking down old systems that are not sustainable and that don't work for all of humanity. So that we all have sort of like our fair share in things,
Yeah. Well, you know what? If I've got a broken leg and the doctor has to yank on it to realign it, I'm not thanking him for the pain that happens when he realigns it. Okay. Fuck you, Pluto. Fuck you twice.
You are hilarious. I was born with Pluto like a degree away from my sun. So that's never going to change. Pluto is like part of who I am because it was conjunct my sun. And it's like, your natal chart is like a screenshot of something, of when you first came onto this planet. So that screenshot is a photo. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
So, I have to defend Pluto. I do, because Pluto took me to the abyss, but then
put your boy on a leash.
Brought me out into the light. I'm gonna defend Pluto.
Awesome stuff. All right, my loves. We are going to put a sticker in it. So as far as where Pluto's at in my plan, in my stuff, my Pluto is in Virgo in my 10th house.
Awesome. Your 10th house is your career. Your 10th house has to do with your job or your career, you know, what you're going to do to make a living. So Pluto is completely restructuring that.
Yeah. And in Virgo. So it's going to be, you know, like OCD aligned.
Yeah, but healing. Also, Virgo is the sign of healers. So there's something that is healing within yourself right now in order to become that expert in that field. You know what I mean? So like if my mom died when I was a little kid, I'm an expert in helping people how to come out of that grieving process.
Nice.
And finding the gift within that death. You know what I mean? So I'm an expert in that field because I went through it. So whatever it is you're healing, you'll be an expert in that field. And so that's what Pluto is doing to you.
Nice. Well, I have an idea of what that might be, but it's under wraps for now, at least for today. So let's take a look at what Krista was supposed to talk about today. And I know, I know she sent us both her little write-up, but it's a bit up in the thing. Do you have it?
The write-up? Did she put it in our chat?
Yeah, she did.
All right, let me look. Unless she sent it to you personally. I don't have it. All I have is the picture of her.
It's not recent. It was like a couple of days ago.
Oh.
Let's see if I can. Sorry, everybody. I should have had this prepped up before we did this. Yeah, I don't know. But today's crystal of the day, if you would, is diamond. You know, and I'm a big fan of diamonds when hanging around my neck at all times. And I used to wear some really blingy diamond rings. So, of course, being that the diamond is one of the hardest stones known to man, and can cut other things and is often used in like drill bits and stuff like that because it can cut so well. I don't want to say it's difficult to program. It's not difficult to program, but once that ring or that diamond, that stone is programmed for a purpose, it's very difficult to unwind that program and remove it again from the diamond. So why is this important? Well, for example, you have a beautiful diamond wedding ring that's been handed down through your family for generations, right? And maybe, you know, grandson that, you know, gets to offer it to the woman of his dreams doesn't realize that grandpa, who died before he was born, beat the crap out of his woman for the first 30 years of their marriage. You don't realize what is already programmed into that stone. And it can have an effect on your current relationship. I got one of my stones one of my rings, one of my wedding rings. Beautiful, beautiful wedding ring in a secondhand shop in Canada. Just absolutely stunning ring. And I had to do some really heavy duty deprogramming work on that ring. I did not know where it came from. I didn't want to find out by, you know, accident where it came from. So I had to do, you know, some clearing work on it and do some process work on it, because when it came to utilizing that ring in the wedding, right, I didn't want the new programming to overlay any old programming that I didn't know was there that could potentially pop up and twist the programming of our vows made with the sealing of that ring. I mean, every wedding you go to is a mystical ceremony.
Yeah.
Right? It transforms, it transmutes two people into one. The vows that you make during that ceremony are important because your soul will live with them, even if your mind and body want to take you in a different direction, you know, and so on. So I guess all of that really is to say that's my first thing that I always think of when I think of diamonds, is the fact that they hold on to a program and will unfold it for the rest of your life and beyond. They never let it go, unless it's literally pulled from it. So any of you that have, hereditary family wedding rings and stuff, start asking some questions. What was Grandma and Grandpa's marriage really like? You know, because not every guy beat the crap out of his woman for the first 30 years of their marriage. Some were absolutely, like, I've known a few boomers and World War II veterans and such, that they were just, oh my gosh, the ideal husband. We're not talking Prince Charming. We're not talking fake. We're talking the kind of man that you want your son to grow up to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And if they had that kind of marriage, well, you might want to keep that program, you know, but do some digging and find out exactly what is programming that ring that might be interacting with your own wedding vows and causing additional problems for you. All right. Does that make a lot of sense? Yeah. Tanya.
Yeah. I love the diamond because of all the colors that you see in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the multi, faceted colors, like almost like the colors of the rainbow.
Yes.
And so I that's why I like the diamond. You know, I feel like you have all of these amazing colors that are coming through that are also healing. Colors are healing, by the way.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. And then the diamond's one of those things that helped me understand that white light is not the absence of color. It is the combination of all color.
Yes.
And black is not all the crayons scrolled on top of each other. It's the absence of light, which has all color. So that's how the black is the absence of all color. It is not all color.
100%.
Right?
Yes.
Boy, the stuff that they mislead kindergartners with, I swear, it's just, forget Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. Look into RGB colors. Magenta doesn't exist. Your eyes make it up. And the blue that we're always told, red, green, red, yellow, blue are primary colors.
Yeah.
That blue is also a made up color. It's cyan and it's different. So our schools are lying to those little babies.
They have been.
So yeah. But
they have been.
One of the other things that I wanted to put in here about the diamond is the fact that it's pure carbon. It is made of literally the same stuff that we are made of, the carbon-based life form, right? And when we think about carbon, right, in our daily world, whether we're thinking about ourselves or not, we think about carbon out in the world. We think about diesel trucks that coal roll people and their exhaust pipe is just all grimy with black, and that's carbon, right? Carbon is what burns off on a spark plug when the spark happens and leaves that smuck and like black grit behind. So how does that carbon end up becoming something so perfectly clear?
How does it?
Pressure. And now we can possibly think about becoming friends with Pluto, because what Pluto is doing for us as human beings, as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, is applying the pressure that gets us clear.
150%.
Right.
But you're pissed off at Pluto.
Fuck yes. I am. Maybe I'll get over it in a couple hours. Maybe I'll get over it next week. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But you know, it's more important to our evolvement to acknowledge this shit's pissing me off than to go, oh no, I love and light. Everything's fine. I've bitten my fingernails down to the quick. Yeah, but I'm good. I'm good.
Gail, you are too funny. You are too funny. You're just real. You know, it's what it is.
Yeah, some people like that. Some people don't. That's
But
okay.
you know, the awareness of what Pluto is doing is very important, because if you had no awareness of what's going on, you know, it may cause you to do
You
crazy
think this
things.
stuff is real?
Yeah.
You know, like real, like
Oh, I know. You know, Pluto has the energy of making people nuts, snapping, killing
yeah,
somebody. You
yeah,
understand what I'm saying? So, because Pluto is the Lord of Hades. It is
yeah,
Satan in a way. So it has, that's the energy of people that are going out there doing mass shootings, serial killers. That's a Pluto energy. But with
yeah,
you having an awareness of what Pluto, the transformation that Pluto is doing to you, then yeah, get mad at Pluto, but you know that you're not going to go to that extreme, because you know what's happening. Do you understand what I mean?
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, the risk of getting a little bit personal, there were times when I was premenopause, right? When
Okay.
I was just childbearing years, every month God was like, spin that wheel, see what she gets this time. Yeah. Um, and there were times when I would be so enraged that I
Yeah.
would be literally talking to myself in my head, do not make any decisions. This will pass.
Yeah.
This is not real. The thoughts and the feelings that you're having are hormonally induced or induced by something else that is not here the other 3 weeks of the month. Don't make any life altering
Yeah.
decisions. Because, yeah, it'll get like that. And that was only because I'd done enough therapy and work and that kind of stuff to believe the therapist saying, don't make any decisions. This is all chemically induced for a
Yeah.
week. It'll pass.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and I mean, to the edge of suicide a number of
Yes.
times.
Definitely. You know, as I was saying quickly, I'll say it quickly before
Hmm.
you go on to the card and everything.
Hmm.
Like I was saying before, Pluto is 1 degree away from my sun sign when I was born. And
Hmm.
so, why do you think my mom died when I was so young? Is because of that energy of Pluto. So that means that I signed up for this before I even
Hmm.
incarnated. I
Yeah.
came in knowing this was going to happen, because that's the natal chart that I chose based
Right.
on the lessons I needed to learn. And
Yeah.
so when you realize all of these things, that you're always in control even before birth as a soul, then you understand, okay, wait, this was just something that I needed to go through. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Well, before we get into the card and everything else, I do want to talk a little bit about Patreon. Thank you
Okay.
to all of our devoted Coven of Joy members. We have opened up the amethyst level, that's $15. The citrine level is at $4. And we would love for you to come out and join us for those things. You know, the we have the extra Moon and Woo broadcasts. We have extra classes coming up, and we have certain particular comments and columns from.
Whoop, we lost Gail. I don't know what happened, but she's supposed to talk about a card and she's supposed to do her word magic. So I don't know. Gail. Oh my goodness. I didn't know I was going to be left by myself. But anyway, while she comes on, I will speak a little bit about, you know, these energies. So everything that's happening up in the skies is really just guiding us, guiding our path. You know, in order for us to make sense of the chaos, we look at the sky, to make sense of what's happening, and then that will guide us into take the right path or the right direction in our lives, so that we don't make more mistakes that are going to push us back, set us back, and create more negative karma for ourselves. So, you know, just don't look at the horoscopes. Listen to the energy that we speak about every week of these planets. Understand what it's trying to do to us. Most of the time, it's just a part. It wants us to transform us into better human beings, into better people, so that we can then fulfill the purpose that we came here to fulfill. A lot of people that I talk to, they say that, oh, my purpose is to take care of my mom or my children, be a housewife. Yeah, that's part of your purpose. It is not all of your purpose. There's more to you than that, even though that could be a major part of the purpose. So I just wanted to add that part, because, we don't want you guys to look at yourselves as small. I was just talking because waiting for you to come on. I don't know what happened to the video. By the way, Mercury is not in retrograde. So I was just saying Mercury is not in retrograde. So usually when Mercury is in retrograde, we have, technical difficulties. But who knows, with the energy of these planets these days, who knows?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can.
Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. I knocked the cord and the speaker and cameras disappeared.
Oh, wow. I was talking, though.
I appreciate that. Yep. Nice. Oh, hi, Tracy. Tracy's here. All right. So let's get back to it here. Thank you again to all of our 3 Crones Coven of Joy members. And you can reach out to any one of us for a little bit more information than, going forward. As a matter of fact, I'm not on the same camera anymore. Boy, can you tell. Anyway. All righty. So here we go. Woohoo. Feeling invincible. Now, of course, this is pretty much along the lines of that diamond and along the lines of that, even the Pluto return kind of stuff, and Mars or Mercury going into Leo, right? This is especially Mercury going into Leo. This is the vibe of, oh my gosh, I've got it. I got to tell you about it. Oh my gosh, this is going to change the world. You need to know about this, and knowing that no matter what happens from here on out, you're tough enough to handle it, right? Yeah. Same thing with the diamonds, right? Under the pressure, you begin to shine. You begin to get clear about what is actually yours to contribute to the world, right? And especially in my case, you will have what is not yours ripped out of your bloody hands. Other people may be smart enough to go, here, you can have it. No, not me. I want to hold on to it until it disintegrates. But the whole point of this is that going forward, we are actually invincible. We have to think like we are. Like, no matter what comes, you have the strength and the power and the intelligence and the savvy and the charisma to survive it and use it to thrive. And you have the ability to allow the rest of the planet to benefit from that hard work that you've done, right? Nothing can assail you now. You've got it all tucked exactly where it needs to be, and you're on your mission going forward, right? Now, this is how I know this. Today's card of the day is the Hierophant, right? And what is the Hierophant all about? Well, the Hierophant is all about outward or outer imposed rules being given to you. You didn't make these up yourself. You didn't choose them yourself. This is the world, the universe, God going, you get to play by these rules, right? So then in order to step out of that, oh, they say I have to be this way, right? Those outer imposed rules. How we flip that is by taking on, I gotta learn all these fucking rules so I know where they can be bent, broken, and crushed. Right? And that's us. That's us working through this feeling invincible part, right? Because knowledge is power. The more knowledge that you have about what the expectations are and aren't, what the rules are and aren't, the more you have the ability to navigate in your own authentic way and not lose your own power, right? Still be able to affect what it is that you need to affect on the world for the greater outcome of all humanity, right?
It's so funny, Gayle. You know, if we follow the spiritual rules, we wouldn't need governmental rules, because we would be our own sort of judge and jury, so to speak, right? And we would follow that golden rule. So we wouldn't need the other rules.
Exactly. Unfortunately, there are 12 signs of the zodiac and various densities of energy in each one. So,
100%.
you know, we've got the unevolved ones over there going, and the super evolved ones over here going, yeah, we'll get there. But, and what you say is absolutely right. If we actually guided our own lives by those spiritual principles, right? Yeah. Loving one another, loving our neighbor as we do ourselves, and so forth. Oh, that's a statement, really. That's a statement of reality. How we love ourselves, we can't love others any better than we love ourselves.
Yeah, right? Well, it means that if you don't want to get hurt, then don't hurt anybody. You know?
Well, yeah, that's definitely the golden rule. But love one another, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. It's like when Jesus said, "Pray unceasingly." It wasn't a directive. It was a statement of fact. Yes. Every thought you have is a prayer.
100%.
You know,
and if your only prayer is thank you, that will suffice.
Exactly. All right. So back to this Hierophant card. You know, we know what the state of the United States is right now, right? We know it's clusterfuck it's
going through a near-death experience.
Yeah, it's going through a near-death experience. Exactly. So here we've got these rules, these imposed rules that people are breaking in a way that does not benefit humanity. It's not moving forward. It's not progressive. I mean, this country came out of people breaking rules. Taxes, screw you. You mismanaging the money. Go fuck yourself. We're going to make business over here.
Yeah.
That was right there. That's the statement that began this country.
Yeah.
Right? We broke the rules. We didn't do what the king wanted us to do. And then we stood up for ourselves and said, yeah, come get us. We're invincible. You know, we're invincible. And we've been invincible for the last 240 years. Well, now, like fish and family visits, after 3 days, that shit starts to sink, right? And things are being corrupted much the way that our previous overlords corrupted us, with a segment of society that gets all the perks and bennies off the backs of all the rest.
That's right. That's why it's not sustainable.
Exactly. So that's the lesson right now. What didn't we do well enough last time? What could we do better this time? What can we do to make sure to fill these cracks in these rules that people are taking advantage of at detriment to other people
100%
in their own country, you know?
Yes.
So again, that's my little spiel, and we're running out of time. So I want to say congratulations to the winner of this week's Woo Woo giveaway, Carrie Murray Beavers. Yay! Thank you for being part of 3 Crones in the Woo Woo. For those of you like Carrie may not know how this works, every week, the 3 of us Crones give away a 30-minute reading. All you have to do is reach out to one of us, myself, Damaris or Krista, and we will get you on the schedule. I promise Krista will be back from the boat tour this evening. So reach out to one of us. Just pick one of us that you want a reading from, and we will get you on the schedule. If you would like to be in the running for future giveaways, all you got to do is like, comment, and share this broadcast to be included among those who are in the mix. Get their name pulled out. All right. So thank you again, Carrie Murray Beavers, for being part of the Coven of Joy. Awesome. All righty. So one quick reminder, make sure that you get your 3 Crones in the Woo Woo stickers. They come in limited edition packs of 4 different designs, and they're only $10. You can reach out.
I love my stickers.
So do I. I got a couple of more from Krista. I got my little package with my little pin and a couple of stickers, and I love it. And it's packed right now. Anyway, so I wish I could show them to you. Well, I want to say thank you to you, Damaris. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for making this show so fun and exciting. Even without Krista. We missed you, Krista. But have fun and check in real soon. And thank you to all of you that watch and support our show each and every week. We couldn't do it without you. Well, we could, but they asked me to stop talking to myself in an empty room. We love you. Have a fantastic week. See you later.